Hi, my name is Kieran. I'm from Cork originally, now living in Waterford. I'm working as a process engineer in Sanofi in Waterford. So they're a pharmaceutical company in Waterford. At the moment I'm working in the inspection area in PFS, so pre-filled syringes, and so we make three products: dupilumab, sarilumab and alirocumab. So previously, when I left school, I would have went to CIT in Cork and I would have done a hospitality degree. Bar management was the title of it, so did that, finished that, and then I started working in a hotel where I'm from. So I ran a bar, the bar side of things in the hotel for, I'd say, about 7 or 8 years. I decided to leave hospitality then, and I kind of wanted to change. I wanted to do something different, and I kind of was at a crossroads of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. So I worked in a couple of jobs, and I was thinking about things and thinking about what I wanted to do, and then I kind of made a choice then to kind of go back to education. So I did 2 courses in CIT, like not knowing would I like them or not. So I said I'd give them a go. So I did them anyway. There were 2 level 6s, and once I completed them, I kind of said I wanted to do a degree. So at the time then, I was like, yeah, I can't. It's going to be hard to do a full-time job and do full-time college. So then I started doing my research and looking up different companies and what I could do and where I could be, or like, and that's how I found GetReskilled then. So I found communication, dealing with different people. Like when I was working in hospitality, I was dealing with all different kinds of people, and I kind of felt like I learned how to speak to people and how to communicate correctly. Timekeeping as well, I suppose that's kind of from every job, I suppose you can transfer that in. So the first course I took was the conversion course. So that was back in 2019. So I started that. I did that for 10 weeks, I think, at the time. And then I finished it, and I found it like grand. I found the online aspect of it, like it suited what I needed. Like I didn't have to be physically in a college sitting down at 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday. I found that I could go back after working a full day's work. I could go down, sit down and dedicate time in the evening, like say it could be an hour or 2 hours, and just get what you need to do done study-wise with lectures and notes and everything. I finished the 10 weeks, so I kind of looked up the GetReskilled website, and I was kind of humming and hawing for a while. I was like, will I go through it? And I decided I would. So then I started the e-biopharmachem. So again, I completed that. I was happy with it. I wasn't overwhelmed at work. It was all in bite-sized chunks, and I was well able to do that and work full-time. So I finished that then I was grand, and then I said, look, I'm at the halfway point here. Why not go on and apply for the degree part of the whole program? So I applied for that, and I'm currently doing that, nearly finished it. So I've 2 modules left, and yeah, so yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. If I built towards it, go into a number of different roles, that I'd be able to get to the point where I wanted to be. And I think that was mapped out as well in the career course. I would work in a role for an X amount of time, and I'd say, right, I've learned this much, why not go on to something else? So I was always looking ahead, and always looking at where I wanted to be. So I worked in Sanmina, then I went to Alcon, they were a medical device. Then I went to doTERRA in Blarney, they were essential oils. It was all manufacturing roles. And then I went to Sanofi in Waterford. So I did the internship and completed that after 6 or 7 months. And then I applied for the role then down there. So it's an inspection SME in the process engineering team. So I got that, and I'm currently working there now. It wasn't just me jumping from, I started this course to, that's where I am now in pharmaceutical process engineering. It was, I kind of mapped it out and I built towards it. But the course, like everything in it, was all relevant. But I have a lot of freedom in terms of I dictate when I start studying each week. So I just pick, the way I did it was I picked one Saturday. I did it all in one morning. Watched all the lectures, read all the notes, did what I needed to do, and I found myself free then for the rest of the week. I had the option if I wanted to accelerate it then, if I was ahead of myself, or if I knew I would say if I was going on holidays next week that I could say to the coordinator that, yeah, I want next week's notes as well on top of this week so I can get ahead of myself. You can log on at any time of the day to go in. I could log on and watch a lecture at 3 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to, if I was coming in after nights or whatever. So I found that independence great because again, like, there's no way I would have been able to do full-time work and do college Monday to Friday. So that was the beauty for me of doing it and why I stuck with it. I quite enjoyed the commissioning module in the validation. I found it kind of hands-on, like you were given a document and you were to generate it yourself, and like it was a mock document, but like totally relevant to industry on documents that I'm dealing with now and signing and getting documents approved at different departments. So surprisingly, I actually enjoyed the maths modules, and the one last year, like it was a bit daunting going into it. I'm not going to say I'm bad at maths, but it would have been my favourite subject, say, when I was doing my leaving cert. But yeah, I found it good. Like, I was able to do it, and I was able to solve problems, and it got me thinking as well about how this is applied to the industry as well. But all of them I enjoyed. Like, all of them are relevant to what I'm doing now. So like, there wasn't one that I'd say I disliked that kind of way. So it was definitely a help when I started in Sanofi to that I was well equipped. I knew what was in front of me. Like, I had done this previously. So to go from kind of a manufacturing role dealing with production to, it's still manufacturing but more technical side of it, more doing investigations on the products that are being filled on the fill line where I work, and it's a lot of problem solving, report writing, and dealing with vendors, and I always had support. I always knew I had support there, that if I was ever in trouble or I didn't understand anything, or if there was ever an issue, I knew I could fall back on them to say, look, there's something wrong here. But thankfully for me, there wasn't any hiccups or anything, so it was all fairly grand, you know. The products we make they help people's lives, so yeah, it means a lot to be helping people that need this medicine. So, and that all this medicine is for a global audience, like, so yeah. So I did the career module course, and I can't remember how long it was. Was it 4 weeks? I think it was 4 weeks, yeah. And like every week it was just step by step of what you should do, like where your CV should be, where you should be in terms of when you're applying for jobs, how you should be in interviews. And like, even for me, before I took that course, I didn't even have a LinkedIn, so I set up a LinkedIn now, and LinkedIn is where I found the job that I have now. So like, it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't do that course, say. I wouldn't have set up a LinkedIn and got the job. So yeah, so if the industry is really what you want to get into, look at the website. Like, that's what I did. I hummed and hawed for a long time, and I was like, will I go do it? Will I do it? Will I do it? And like, all the information is on the website. I found like every course is on it. This is what the module entails. All the details are on it. And yeah, I just said I'd take the plunge, but advice-wise, yeah, if you're interested, do it. It's all, like I said, it's all done in bite-sized chunks. It's not overwhelming, it's not crazy work or anything, and like, if I can do it, anyone else can do it. So that kind of way. Stick at it, and like, I would say persevere. Like it's 4 years may seem like a long time, but for me, it went by quickly. It's gone in a flash now, and I actually can't believe I'm near the end of it, and I'm so glad I did it, and I'm so glad I stuck at it. So like, think about where you can be when if you completed all this, say however many of the courses you complete, and like, look at me as a testament. Like, I was working in hospitality, and now I'm working as a process engineer in a pharmaceutical company. So like, yeah, you can be like me as well, like, you know. Education wasn't something I was planning on going back to. Once I finished my first degree, I was like, yeah, that's it, I'm never going back. Been there, done that. But it was something I was glad I did, and I'm delighted I did it now, and delighted where I am. So, just a massive thank you for everything over the years. Made it so easy for me. Like, it was a breeze getting from the conversion course now to nearly finishing degree. So it was very straightforward. Work is grand, and everyone is so helpful. So, yeah, I'll be eternally grateful when I get there. So. It'll be emotional when I get there, but it's definitely, I'm so glad I did it, and I'm delighted to finally be nearing the finish line. So from where I was 4 years ago to where I am now, I wouldn't have got here without GetReskilled. So yeah, forever grateful to where I am now.